Hi, TikTok family. I was gonna say happy Friday. Happy Friday. It is not Friday, is it? I don't know. I'm really happy with the way my skin looks, but at the same time, this is a filter. Wow. Okay. I didn't think I turned on any filters, but whatever. How is everybody doing? Happy Thursday. Happy dappy dappy Thursday on TikTok. If you're just coming on, my name's Julie. I'm a psychic medium. I have been doing readings for 2 decades, and I absolutely love what I do. I'll start to see, hear, and feel things for people from your loved ones on the other side. Some of those things are going to make immediate sense. Some of those things are like, I don't know why you're tasting peppermint. And then you find out later your grandmother made peppermint candy every Christmas. I've had people contact me after. I'm just sucking on one of these rice candies that we got from the market. They're so good. But if you're just coming in, please say hi. If I've ever given you a reading before, please let me know. I would love to re-say hi. Re-say. Is that a word? Say hi again. So I am waiting for at least one moderator to be on here. And to see if Lisa is somebody. Hey, I have not seen you for a while. How are you? I'm gonna grab my tea and my water. And I am doing readings today. I have one scheduled reading, and then I think let's just do two openings. Hey, Moon Vibrant. If you're not following Moon Vibrant, she has great energy. I highly suggest it. I'm doing okay, thanks for asking. Good. Did you survive the full moon / Mercury microwave retro? I'm just kidding. Let's fit some humor into it. I was even watching, there's this guy, he's not John Edwards, it's John Lewis, but John Edwards trained him, and he's on here, and he gives great readings, and he's like, I have to tell you guys, he's like, the last day of all of that Mercury retrograde, he was saying, he's like, he blew a gasket in his car. He's like, I was waiting for AAA. I was like, what the heck? And I was like, us too. My eldest ran over a manhole that was not properly, like, well, obviously properly not covered if she ran over it. And it was opened, and it had no cones around it. And so we lost a tire, but then I called the city because of TikTok. They said, like, I just was watching a video, someone was saying, if you've ever hit a pothole or a manhole and you're wondering if the city will reimburse you, this is how to do it. And I did it, and they reimbursed me. Barely. What that? I don't know what time of month that was, Beauty, but oh my gosh, it's like enough. Am I following you, by the way? I want to give you a follow. I'm going to follow you. Let's get your numbers up. I'm so all for people believing in their dreams, following their ambitions. Do you know what I mean? So I wanted to see how everybody's doing. And then Lisa, if you're on here, you did pay for your reading last time, and if anybody wants to just ask me some questions, not like a reading, but like maybe like, this happened to me, is that a sign? Or if you want to know what the most popular signs are, when our loved ones cross over, they are always showing us signs, always. We just aren't educated in that. It's not like in elementary school, they're like, okay, here's your colors and here's your numbers and your ABCs, and by the way, when your loved ones cross over, this is how they communicate to you. Oh, thank you. I love your videos and your lives. Thank you. That means a lot to me, honey. That means a lot to me. And no worry, Kim. I hear what you're saying. I have a moderator, and I changed the time on her, so she'll be here in a little bit. But in the meantime, a couple things that I wanted to share with you guys is, I feel like we are all intuitive. We all have a gift to communicate with our loved ones that have crossed over. Mediums have a heightened awareness, and they should be studying for it as well. So what I did when I found out I had a gift, and I don't know where my book is, but I always show it. It's called I Am Home, and it's on Amazon. So you can read that also if you like, but just for a brief introduction on how I knew I was a medium. I always knew things, like just knew things. In elementary school when I was little, and then my first experience in communicating with someone who had crossed over, I was like 5 or 6, and we lived in Nebraska at the time. And my grandmother came in my room. I was not asleep yet. I was in my pajamas playing with my Barbies, like on my bed, but I was not asleep. And my grandmother came into my room, and she didn't say anything. And little did I know this was like they speak to you telepathically, but she kind of looked at me. And I said, Grandma, I don't know what you're saying. So I went in the kitchen and I said, Mom, Grandma's here. And she has something to say, but I don't know what it is. And mind you, I was not scared. I was not spooked out. I just was curious because I didn't know anything. Like, I've never had that experience before. This was my first experience with somebody who passed away that I knew. And so my mom came in my room and she's like, no, nobody's here. And she's like, Julie, you must have been dreaming. But like I said, I was just laying in my bed with my Barbie, so I know I wasn't asleep. And my mom's like, Grandma doesn't live with us. Don't you remember, sweetheart? She lives across town. I was like, okay, I don't know what that was then. So I just went to sleep. My mom's my parent. She should know. It was nothing. It was probably my imagination. I'll go to bed. The next morning, however, we received a phone call that my grandmother, Julia, had passed away that day before. And we had not known. No one had contacted us yet. So my mom, bless her heart, said, you know what, Julie? I think Grandma came to you to say goodbye. Before, my mom was very Catholic, so she said before she went to heaven. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Didn't think anything about it. My mom said it so nonchalantly. Just felt like that's normal, right? Probably all kids have this. I didn't know that other kids didn't experience that, or people didn't experience that. And so I just right away was like, okay, before people pass away or when they pass away, they come and talk to you. That's cool. Like in my head, like didn't think anything about it. And then when I started elementary school, we moved to California, I would say things to kids like, the first thing I remember is that we were in, I think, the 4th grade. It's always hard for me to remember back, and I don't have anybody to help me recall. But I think it was in the 4th grade, and we lived in Newark, California then. And we had this teacher named Miss Spurlock, and she always like shook her head when she talked. She was like, okay, class, let me tell you. Like she did this thing. Well, the night before I went to school, I was like, oh, I had a dream that Mrs. Spurlock was sick and we were going to have a substitute teacher and he was going to be bald. That's all I remember. I don't know why I had the dream. I don't know what it meant. Miss Spurlock was okay. She was just out for the day. But there was nothing to let me know that she was going to miss that day or she was going to be sick other than the dream. So when I came into class, when we usually came into class, the teacher would already be there. So everybody was like wondering, as rightfully so, where's our teacher? And I looked at everybody and I said, oh, she's out sick today. We're going to have a substitute teacher and he's bald. And they're like, how do you know that? And I said, because I just know. And they said, how do you know? And then in walks this guy and he said, hi, you guys. I just want you to know, I don't remember his name. My name is so-and-so, but you can call me Mr. Baldy because as you can see, I'm bald. And he started laughing. And he taught the class. And then at recess, all the kids on the play yard were like, you're a liar. You knew. You probably saw him in the office. And I was like, no, I didn't. I just knew. And they're like, you're a witch. That's weird. And so that's my first experience with having this gift and saying, maybe other people don't see this and maybe it is a weird thing, so I'm not going to share it, because as a society, we don't want to be weird and stand out. We just want to belong with everybody else, and I wanted to belong and I didn't want to be weird. And so I kind of hid it, and I hid it for a very long time. And then when I went away to college, it busted open again. And this is in, like, I graduated high school 1983, just to give you the kind of time reference. So I went to school and graduated from 1983. It took a long time. Went to a couple junior colleges, and then I went to Cal Poly in San Luis Obispo, and I graduated in 1991. During that period, my gift was so open. Like, I knew when boyfriends were cheating on me. I know with who. I knew what the girls were wearing. It was insane. It was insane. And it was just a feeling I would have to know that my sister was pregnant. I put my hand on her stomach. I was like, oh my gosh, you're pregnant. And she's like, what are you even talking about? 6 months later, gives me a call, and she's like, I guess you knew I was pregnant. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so weird. So, or no, 3 months later. Why am I saying 6 months later? So it was things like that I was like, maybe I do have a gift. And all my friends would say, ask Julie, she's psychic, she'll know. Because we would be looking for friends. We didn't have Facebook or like friend finder like we do now. And they would say, where do you think Sean and Marty and the guys are? I was like, they're probably at Avila Beach. Doesn't it feel like they're at Avila Beach? And like, Avila Beach is really long, and there's like 3 different parts you can go to it. And they're like, what part do you think they're at? And I was like, oh, they're probably by, there was this cat cafe place, Fat Cats. They're probably by Fat Cats Cafe, like on that side. Sure enough, we pull up, and there they are, just having this little bonfire. And they're like, how did you know we were here? And they're like, Julie knew. And they're like, oh yeah, she's psychic. So we would just laugh it off. Because I was a psychology major, I was very much, this is the cause, this is the effect. I didn't really believe in any of these things. I used to just tell people it was a coincidence. But I just started to know things. And then it wasn't until I graduated, until I was about 25, 26 years old, and I'm 57 now, so it just shows you how long ago this all started, where I had a dream of my friend, we'll call him Bobby. I had a dream, and this is a guy who's like, let me back up. We had dated, we were friends, we had dated briefly, but we were like, let's just keep it friends because this is just too weird. So we were close, but I mean, I didn't know his family, I didn't know very much about him. We were just having fun and college and whatever. No cell phones back then, remember? No like Facebook, no, not like even internet. I don't know if it had been discovered then, but I wasn't on it. So there was no way to contact him, is my point of telling you that. And I had this dream of this guy, and he was Bobby, and he was always like really on the Willmans team, really tough. And over the 3 years I knew him, I'd never seen him cry about anything. He was just a tough guy. Not that it's not okay for guys to cry, because it totally is. I'm just letting you know, I never saw it. So it was very strange to have this dream of Bobby, of all the people that I know in this world, crying, rocking back and forth in a fetal position at 3:30 in the morning. I woke up, I was crying, I was shaking. I ended up not being able to go back to sleep, so I went to work. I opened a daycare. I was like a daycare manager, assistant manager, whatever. And so I opened really early, and by 12 o'clock, I was like, I'm so nauseated, I have to go home. Like, I haven't slept, I feel sick about this. So I just told them I was sick, went home. And I was like, I have to call this guy Bobby. I have to call him to make sure he's okay. So I looked him up on 411, if you guys are old enough to know what that is. So you just dial 411, you get information. And sure enough, he was still in San Luis Obispo, thank goodness. So I called, he answered. I said, hey Bobby, I realize I haven't been in touch with you a long time. And I always knew he was gonna be mad because I didn't say goodbye to him before I left town. There was just not enough time. I was planning a wedding and graduating, and time just ran out. So I said, this is Jules. I had a dream about you last night. You were crying. I woke up at 3:30 this morning. You know how I am with my dreams. I told them, once you tell me you're okay, I'll go ahead and let you go. And I know this is weird. And I hear nothing on the other side. And I said, come on, Bobby, you're not mad at me, are you? Please don't be mad. Just tell me you're okay and I'll let you go. And he goes, Jules, I had a dream. He goes, I got woken up last night at 3:30 because my dad, or 4 o'clock this morning, because my dad passed away from a heart attack at 3:30 this morning. And now you're calling me, telling me you've had this dream about me, and I haven't talked to you in like 2 years. So this is really weird, and I have to let you go. And he hung up. And I started crying. I cried for him and I cried for myself because I didn't understand what was going on. But it was at that point where I was like, Julie, you know what? You can't say these are coincidences anymore. This is not a coincidence. There's something real happening. And so what I did was I just got books and I started reading about your intuitive side and spiritual awakenings. I didn't even know the word medium yet. Do you know what I mean? I hadn't watched any shows on TV about this at all. I think Sylvia Brown was around, but I don't even think I really watched her that much. And so that was like 25, 26. It wasn't until I had my first child and I became friends with a good friend, Tammy, who I talk about in my book. And she was like, you're a medium. You're a psychic medium. And I was like, no, there goes that word psychic again. I'm not. I don't know what that is, but I'm not that. So she just kept giving me all these books, like Gordon Smith and Doreen Virtue and John Edwards. And I started looking at these books on the back, and I started going to anything that I could go if they had any retreats or classes or just even watching them do their techniques. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's what I do. But I just thought I was talking to people and giving them advice. I mean, after all, I went to school to be a counselor and I took psychology classes. I thought I was just giving people advice. But I understood then why people were saying, no, you're a psychic medium, don't you understand? And then I started to embrace it and I started to say, okay, now I understand what you guys are saying this whole time. So I know that was a big story. I didn't think I was going to share it, but it is in my book, I Am Home, if you want to read more about like what I do. But I wanted to share with you guys. A lot of people are like, oh, I wish I had your gift. I was like, well, it wasn't so fun. Really, like embracing it really up until, maybe 20 years or no, 10 years ago, or no, 20 years ago, I finally started telling family members about what I do. And it wasn't until 5 years ago that I told a couple siblings who still don't believe in this stuff. So it's kind of funny to be born into a family where they're like, yeah, I'm glad that you're helping people, but I don't want to hear about what you do because I don't believe in it. So I just have my soul family and one sister that really believes in this kind of thing, and then my kids. So it's an interesting journey. It is fun and rewarding, and I'm so glad I get to help people beyond anything that I would ever understand myself. But my job is not to understand it fully, but to open my heart to be a clear channel. So that's what I do when I do readings. I truly love to help people. I truly love to be honest and authentic. If I can't read somebody, I just tell them I can't read you. I don't know why. It's just like personalities. It's like if I met everybody at a party, not everybody's going to like me. Do you know what I mean? And so you really have to like mesh with the medium style. I was telling Kim, if she's still in here, 2 months ago, I was getting ready to do a reading for this guy, and it was a Zoom reading. And I was really nervous, and I've done these so many times, and I was like, why am I so nervous? And they said, oh, thanks, Kim. They're like, he's going to be very literal. And so I sent that to Kim, and before I started the reading, I said, I just have to ask you, I'll just call him Stephen. That's not his name, but I'll just say that for the story. I said, Stephen, I have to ask you, are you very literal? And he goes, what do you mean? And then I was like, yeah, he is. So I had to have Spirit be very specific with him. I was like, you guys are going to need dates. You're going to need exact names, because if it's Carol and it's Caroline, he's going to say no. So I was really pleased with the reading. His wife came through with beautiful information and was very valid, and so that was wonderful. But he was so stoic during the whole reading. I was like, well, everybody's not meant for people. Maybe he'll just, this is for him to look at the video later to find his healing. And like 2 weeks later, he's like, I'd like another reading for you. That was really good. And I was like, it was? Okay. So you never know. Sometimes you're going to blend. Sometimes you're helping people and you won't see it right away. But I just keep going. Hey, Silver, I haven't seen you forever. Kim's laughing. It was so funny. Are you literal? He's like, what do you mean? was like, yep, you're literal. Hi, Sherry. Oh, I was just telling the peppermint story. So I gave Sherry a reading. Was it you, Sherry? I think it was you. And I said, I taste peppermint. And usually when I'm doing a reading and I taste peppermint, then that tells me that someone passed away around Christmas. It's just like peppermint candy. And she's like, no. And I was like, well, if it's not that, I can't imagine someone made their homemade peppermint candy. And she's like, my husband made peppermint schnapps. I'm like, that's it, because I was tasting it. So see, they'll see, hear, and feel things that they're trying to tell you. Yes. Hello, everybody. This is a quiet Thursday. I'm so glad. I actually love little intimate groups. It's the best. But thank you guys for being on. How are you, Silver? Oh, no, it wasn't you. Okay. But I wish it was. Sherry, I gave you a reading though, yeah? Oh, was it your sister-in-law? Was that the one where your sister-in-law was pew-pewed in the chest? Was that you? I feel like have I given you a reading on here before, Sherry? I feel like I have. Yes, okay. Son on Mother's Day. Okay, thank you. Thank you. I'm so sorry. Yes. I'm okay. Just working a lot lately. How are you, my friend? Good. I was just telling everybody on here, we just survived that full moon and the Mercury retrograde, and now it's just time to like heal and relax. And I bought a bunch of salt scrubs from Trader Joe's. They had some. And you can also just make your own with, what is it called? Sea salt and coconut oil too. I still listen to it all the time. I'm so glad. I have lots of dreams during the full moon. Same. I don't know if you guys ever have this where you astro travel, where you have a dream and you're talking to somebody. I had a lot of those, so I was like exhausted the next day. And some was with my ex-husband's family, and I know they're going through a lot because Nana is declining, but I was like, I'm not part of that family anymore. You guys can't come to me for comfort and healing, even in my dream every night. That's why I don't sleep. Yes. So what you can do is you can ask God and angels to surround you so that you're not having any, like I was like, I'm not doing readings while I sleep, you guys. I'm not. I'm going to have some healthy boundaries here. And then that helps a bit. There's always some information that comes through for some reason. I always know that if I'm not getting what they want me to know during the day, it will come in my dream state. So I try my best to journal, to take times to meditate, to get that information during the day, because at night I don't want to be channeling. I tell them I just want to sleep. I just want to relax. Well, you don't know who's chatting with me all night. I love it, but I know people don't understand. I just was sharing with this, like, I love this gift, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, the astral traveling and the predictions of that I channel while I'm sleeping, I feel like the next day then I'm like, well, now I need a nap, because I was like working all night. Do you know what I mean? So I have my little regiment, and that usually helps. But like I said, I think journaling and meditating, listening during the day helps me sleep at night, so they don't have to come and give me information while I'm sleeping. There's I wish I had your gift. Oh, Sherry, thank you. Everybody does. Everybody has a gift of being, of listening to their side. Hi, Sina. Of listening to their loved ones on the other side and getting signs. Hi, Cheryl from Ohio. We just aren't trained in that. That's why I wanted to share the story about my gift and how it came open. Like I say in my book, I Am Home. It's not like we're in kindergarten. They're like, here's your ABCs, here's your numbers, and then here we need to talk about when your loved ones pass away. This is how they'll show you signs. Like nobody talks about that. There are some beautiful cultures that still talk to their loved ones, that see signs, that see an eagle and they're like, that's our great grandfather. Like there are cultures that do that. I'm so drawn to those cultures for that reason, because they're more in tune with nature, and then they know that once a spirit, their body is passing away, once their body is, yes, once they pass away, their spirit is very much still alive. So I would say once their body dissipates, their spirit is still alive, and that's my job, is to show people that your loved ones are still here with validation. That's why it's really important to me. Like I just gave a Zoom reading to a family the other day, and again, the pressure's on. They're missing their dad, and I want to hear something really profound. So before the reading, I get on, I say, okay, Dad, you better bring it. They really need this. It's not about me. It's about you coming for them and me being the channel. So you better bring it because they need it. So I come on the Zoom call and I start giving them their reading. The first thing I see is a Starbucks cup. Doesn't make any sense to me, so I put it to the side. In my mind's eye, I still see a Starbucks cup. So I say a couple things to them. They're like, yeah, he did that. Yes, we have somebody named Sam in the family. Yes, this is how he passed away at home. Yes, yes, yes to all those. And I said, and there's something about a Starbucks cup. And they said, oh my gosh, yeah, the Starbucks. He wouldn't eat anything. So we got him a strawberry Starbucks drink, and he drank the whole thing. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. That's the only thing he drank or ate. And so a Starbucks drink would mean a lot in that situation. Do you guys kind of understand what I'm saying? No, I don't mind, Kim. Have a good time. Kim's going to jump off. She's going to go for a bike ride. She got a bike, which I'm so glad. I think it's like, I'm in Oregon. It's so humid here. It feels like it's going to rain. So I was waiting for Lisa to come on because she had a prepaid reading, but she's not coming on right now. So I'm just going to chat for a little bit. I don't know if anybody on here has, yeah, I need to get some exercise tonight too. Go ahead, Kim. Thank you for your help. And before she goes, Kim is a moderator. If you guys aren't following Kim, please do so. She's volunteers her time and she's working with crystals and does these wonderful intuition tests. And then she'll be here in August because I live in Oregon and she has her family out in Oregon, so she'll be visiting. So maybe we'll go live together in August. And Elena, if you're on here, I think last time Kim was here, we had talked about that, and Elena was saying so cool. You're welcome, Kim. So much love to you. So every once in a while I do this. If no one is on here for the reading, yes, I'm here. Perfect. Yes, then follow her, Kim, my moderator. She's great. Now I wanted to see, does anybody have 1,000 followers that are on here right now, where I could bring you on to do a reading? You don't have to show your face, but when it's like this, and I've been waiting for Lisa and she's not showing up, it'd be fun to do a reading for somebody, but you need 1,000 followers. Okay, Sherry, would you like to come on for a reading, Sunshine? Oh, so sorry. Any practices? No worries, Kim. Take your time. Sure, I'd love to. Okay, let me see how I do this. I think I can bring you on. Yay, Elena, I'm so happy. If you're not following Elena Hopkins, please follow her too. She makes these beautiful cards. I sent them out for Easter. She sent me some copies. Please follow her. See if I can bring you on. How do I? All right, I'm gonna invite you. Let's see if this works. Da dun 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 da. Can you hear me?
All right. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Oh, I love your voice.
Oh, thank you.
There's some people,
You
I'm like, do you sing country music? You got the voice I've always wanted. Like,
you know, I don't sing anymore, but usually it was gospel.
was it really?
So
Oh,
I probably could sing country music. Yeah.
yeah. I love your voice. Right when I was listening, you see, I didn't even know you sang, and I was like, that's the voice.
Right.
I've always wanted to be a singer. I sing on America's Spirits. Give me songs to sing to people. They'll be like, yeah, Joy to the World, tell them that one. I'm like, I'm not singing that song. So I always say it's the Julie Comedian Trivia karaoke show, because I'll perform any way I can in order to get the message for you. Do you?
Yeah, I love that. Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being on here. And these are recorded and put over on my YouTube, so I won't mention your last name or anything
Okay.
like that because I'm always aware about your safety and I don't want any scammers, but I do have your first name. So Cheryl, and the way I like to do these readings when I'm on here is because I hear a lot of voices from other people, is to see who you want to hear from today. I don't need to know their name. I just need to know who they are to you. And I have to ask, is your dad crossed over?
He has. Yes.
Yeah, because before I even said anything, he's like, hey, this is like coming
Oh,
through
wow.
so strong.
Wow. Yeah. Hi, Dad. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. And do you guys have a John or a James either here or crossed over or a man with a J?
I have a son with a J.
Yep, because he just shows me that. Hold on one second. Whoa. Does someone look like John Travolta? Does someone have a cleft chin or like really big dimples? This is like, I just
Um,
think like an indentation.
no, not that I can think of offhand.
And
Not
nobody like
off.
John Travolta or anything like that. You know how John Travolta has the little cleft chin?
I do. Yeah. Yeah. That might be my J son. Yeah.
Does he
A
have,
little bit. Mhm.
there's a little dimple? Okay, that's just dad's way of confirming that to me. See, I wouldn't know. Do you know what
That's
I mean?
amazing.
Talk
Yes,
about
I do.
him, talk about the dimple. He's like that too. Your son knows he's smart. He's 10 times smarter than he thinks he is. So your dad's hoping that he doesn't talk himself out of a good idea before it's even began. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I do. Thank you for reaffirming that. Yes.
Yeah, so this is a hard one, Mama, when you have like a leader and someone who's like, I need help, but I don't. I want to do it by myself. Now I don't know what I'm doing. You're like, am I helping you or not? Like, I just,
Right.
you know that,
Yes. And he's still younger, so yes, exactly what you said. I
yeah,
do know.
it's not easy raising a leader, but he is a leader. So he's going to question a lot of rules and he's very smart. Like I said, he knows he's smart. He's 10 times smarter than he thinks he is. And when I do readings for people like for you, for your son, they usually don't do well in school or they're bored because their mind moves way faster and the information
Yes.
is not hands on. He's bored, but he needs like hands on stuff. Like for him, he picks up really quick. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do. Yes.
Yeah,
Thank you. He's standing here listening, and I'm like, "Hey, she's talking about you right now,"
good.
and he's just looking like a deer in headlights.
Yeah, he's like, who's
Yes.
that lady? Don't even, and don't worry, sweetheart. I didn't mention your name. Nobody's gonna know. Like this is just for you. And this is Grandpa's way
Okay.
of coming through, saying, "Hey, I want to help him. He's a good guy. He just needs a cup of confidence, and stop caring what other people think. Stop. Would your dad?
Right. Is what?
Would your dad swear?
No.
Okay, because I just heard, don't get an shit about what people think. Like you've got to.
Okay.
I'm all, so that's just
What's ironic is my dad did not meet this child. I
nope.
had this child after my dad passed.
Yes. Isn't that amazing? So this is your dad's way
Yes.
of coming through saying, I know you have a son with a J. I know that he's got a little dimple like right here. And I know
Right.
he's going through some challenges. See, we think we're just chatting, and your dad's like, go on TikTok at this time. Julie's gonna pull you on. Like this has all been
Right.
arranged. We just think it's a fluke. Do you know what I mean?
Isn't that amazing? I do. I know exactly what you mean. Yes.
Yeah. And this is his way of coming through too. I will tell that, sir. Hold on one second, please. This is his way of coming through saying that he knows what's going on even after he's crossed over. So body dissipated, but spirit's very much still alive. And I'm supposed to have a reference to Elvis. Do you know how Elvis like sang God when he was younger, but then sang me? So I don't know if someone loved Elvis or why I'm hearing that, but he's bringing it up. Does that make sense to you?
Yes. Yes. He would have sang. He was the singer. He would have sang Elvis. And yes,
Do you understand? So as long as
makes
that
perfect sense.
doesn't matter, like I'm like, well, this makes sense to me, but he's like, you need to talk about Elvis. But Elvis, he say, started his career singing gospel music. Like he just keeps bringing that up for some reason. So I just need to keep bringing it up. Like he just keeps talking
Right.
about that as
That's
well.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. My dad also was in a band, not one that we would know, but a gospel band. So
He's
go
like
figure.
gospel music Elvis. Like, well, how would I know that? Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes,
getting,
right,
yeah, I was like, you have a good voice for singing. You're like, I don't anymore. But, and it wasn't
right.
gospel. Yeah. So dad's like, yeah, this is so
That's
funny.
amazing.
I know. So I have to pause here just for a moment and let
Okay.
you know how proud your dad is of you. If you ever get that, I call it stinking thinking, and you're like, oh, well, he wouldn't have liked this, and I should do this. And he's like, no, I am so proud of you. You're always doing the right thing, even though the wrong thing is occurring. And he's saying he knows how that can be frustrating at times, or you can be wrongfully blamed for things. He's like, you just have to keep brushing it off and just keep going forward. Unfortunately, don't let sick people make you feel sick. Do you understand what he's talking about?
I do.
Yeah.
Yes.
So not everybody likes happy people. So you bug, it's like you bug them. They're like, quit being so happy and positive. You're like, I'm just going to be this way. This is how,
Right.
you know what I mean? If you don't like it, you don't have to come here. Okay, hold on one second. So I'm glad your son is getting this information because he does need that cup of confidence. He's unique, so there's no one like him. If he has a dream of something that he's going to do and it's going to be unique, he's really going to need a lot of self confidence. So I'm hoping that there's your dad saying he's putting. I will tell that, sir. God, your dad's talking so fast. Putting for your son. He just showed me three things at one time already. But
Oh,
he is. Oh, you pray for your son all the time. You pray for everybody. You pray for
I
every
do.
even people you don't even know. Somebody on TV, they're like, Madeline's lost. You're like, I'm going to write it down. I'm going to pray for her. It's like, but you don't even know these people. But your dad is saying that you have that kind of a heart.
I do that.
Yeah. See, how would I know? So he's saying that rest assured your prayers are being answered. He's talking about that because you're very concerned. Like you just want you don't care if your son has a hot dog stand. Do you know what I mean? You just want him to be happy and successful and proud of himself. Do you understand?
I do. Yes.
Yeah. But
Yes. Whatever makes them happy.
yeah, sorry, really quick because I have to. I'll pause here for a moment. I know sometimes I start talking really fast. Hold on, say
Okay.
the thing that you were just going to say. Okay, so with your son, there's something about hands-on. His life purpose is something that he's never seen before, so um, he'll be sent like mentors, but have him follow people who are like inventors on Shark Tank or something like that. Have him look at people so he can say like, this is where they came from, and they made mistakes along the way, but they still ended up being successful. Because one of the things that might hinder your son from being successful is how he's hard on himself for when he makes mistakes.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
And that's just normal. Pops is saying that's just normal. Like everybody makes mistakes. You don't have to be a perfect. And the truth is, no one is. Okay, here's the other message. Is there a thing about tuna casserole or something like that? Or someone a tuna melt or tuna casserole? Or is that your dad?
Uh,
Or I don't understand what he's trying to show me.
I don't know.
This is like it was somebody's favorite. They ate it all the time, or that's the recipe that they would bring to parties. So if this isn't dad, then I have someone else coming through. Like is his mom crossed over? Your dad's mom?
Yeah, but the tuna isn't. But it may be something that I don't know, and I need to ask family about. I'm not sure.
Yeah. This is so cool. So write it down because this has happened to me on every time I've come live on here. And then someone's like, I checked with them and it is their favorite. And I'm like, see, how would I know? Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
And
I
that
do. Yes.
Yeah, so they're going to bring up things that you know and that you're going through, things that you've been through, and things that you don't know, so you can write it down. So if anybody's like, well, you told her that, you're like, how would I tell her? I didn't even know this. Do you know what I mean?
Right. I do. Right.
Yeah, but it's a two,
Wow.
like, but it's, I don't, it's like kind of like gross because it's so hot today. It doesn't sound very good, but it's like something hot. So it'd be like tuna casserole or tuna melt. It's like a recipe like that. Do you understand?
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay. I
So
wrote it down.
yeah, so it's somebody's way of coming through. If it's not your dad, then he's pulling somebody with him as well. Hold on one second. Did someone have a bum leg? Did someone have an either an amputated leg or a Um,
So it wasn't amputated, but it hurt her a lot. A really bad fall caused a really bad deep cut.
and then it was always like that. It was a constant problem.
It was a constant problem, right?
Yeah, because it's like very painful. Is she crossed over?
She has.
Yes. Okay. So if I don't know who the tuna casserole belongs to, and then someone comes up and shows me that too, that's their way of coming through. And do you have like a Mary or Margaret? It's MAR, either here or crossed over.
Um, oh my gosh, not offhand. I can't think of
Yeah, that's
um,
that's okay.
Mary or Margaret. No.
That's so funny. And there's not like a Manny, Nanny, Manny. That's okay. Just put it to the side. Some of this
Okay.
sense right at the beginning, then after that you're gonna be like, oh my god, that's my husband's mom. You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
everybody's coming in. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Right. Flooding.
Yeah. So let me see if there's anything else. Were you a teacher?
I was not.
Okay. Something about schooling. Why do I see school? Did you not work? Who worked in a school?
My
Was
daughter works in a school.
okay. So then that would be your dad's way of saying, well, we talked about the son, but we haven't talked about the daughter. Is she older?
She is older. Yes.
Did your dad meet her?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Because that's what he's making me feel like. That's the one I knew. She's in school. Like, I know her. See how he's coming through like this?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
She's doing a really good job. And everybody wants to know, do you think Papa would be proud of me? Pops would be proud of me. He is. He's very proud of his family. Don't ever think like, oh, he wouldn't like that. He's nothing but proud.
Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you, Dad.
He's like,
Yes.
as long as people are doing the right thing, he's like, I'm all for making mistakes. Just don't be, say it again. Yeah, mean on purpose. He was like, I don't like people like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's give
Yes.
yourself a break. That's what he's talking about. And I'm also being pulled to March. So March would be like someone's day of passing or someone's birthday because he's pulling me to the month of March.
Okay. That
So
would make sense.
yeah, and who's that for you? Because I won't know. He's just we're
Oh my God. That's the tuna casserole. Yes. That's my baby sister.
yep, there we go.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing? Right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
That's the tuna casserole.
Yep. If we stick with them, they'll know. And out of all things, tuna casserole, I don't know why, but if you saw me talking earlier, it doesn't make any sense that I would be doing a reading about to a family and bring up Starbucks drink. But if that's what the spirits are talking about,
Mm,
what they're talking about, they know what that would mean. Do you know what I mean for you?
I do. Yes. That makes so much sense. And okay. It's an M name too. It's not Mary or Margaret, but it's definitely an M name.
Yeah, right. Because then I was like Manny, like it's like Manny's not a regular name either.
Right.
Yeah. So as long as
Oh wow.
you, that's all that matters to me. Do you mind sharing the name with me? The reason why I'm asking, and only if you're comfortable, because
I'm fine.
they'll go through files in my mind of names that I've seen, and they'll be like, it's close to this. And so every time I learn a new name, when I do another reading, I'm like, oh, I gave a reading to somebody and their name was Eugene or Eugen. And it's a name like that. And they're like, that,
Okay.
do you know what I mean? So
I do.
I have to learn.
So her name is Michelle, but a lot I called her Shell.
Okay.
Or like my grandma would have said Michelle May because it was her namesake.
May, that's why I kept
Or
seeing,
May May.
yes,
No. There you go.
that's why I
May
was
May.
Manny, May, like Mary.
Right.
Like, so my name was Michelle, but everybody called me this. That's why I was like, well, I know the name Michelle. Why would she
Right.
have that? Because she's like, well, that's not what I went by though. She's like, I was more close,
Amazing.
and that's why I saw Manny. It's like May, Manny. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, 100%. That is amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Wow.
Her way of
What
coming
a
through,
trip.
wanting you to know that her soul is at rest. She keeps repeating that. I don't know why anybody, I don't know if there's something that happened before. If you're wondering if her soul is at rest, but she's saying that my soul is at rest. Do you understand why
It,
she was bringing that up?
I, it would not be her that I was wondering that about. It would be someone else.
So if you is it a male figure or is it a
It,
male?
no, it's a female.
Okay. So dad, like, do you guys have like an Uncle Bob or something or Bill?
He's not, he wasn't my uncle, but yeah, I have a bill.
Yeah, and he's
Sure.
for two.
He has, yes.
Yeah. When they come through as an uncle, it's like we were good family friends, so we were more than just friends. So that's why
He was,
I always say it's our adopted family where they came to everything, so they might as well have been a family. Do you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
he was a stepfather.
Yeah,
Would that be the same type of thing? Yeah.
yeah.
Stepdaddy.
Like friend. So,
Right. Right.
so yeah,
Wow.
what a funny guy. He's like, I'll make anybody laugh. You guys want me to juggle? What do you want me to do? Like he's here.
That's so him. Yes. He loved to tell jokes.
Yeah, I know. So funny. I don't know why. Show me again, sweetheart. He just showed me one of the three guys from the movie Mamma Mia. So I don't know if he looked like one of them. There was like, there's Harry, and then there's, I don't know all the names, but I just saw Mamma Mia. I don't know why. I don't
Is there
know.
a bald one who crosses his hair over to the side? I don't know. I'm not hip. How funny.
There's an oh because Bill is one of the guys in Mamma Mia, right? Because there's Henry, Bill, and Sam, and one of the
Okay.
Bill. That's probably why he's showing me that. And Bill
Gotcha.
the less hair out of all of them, so maybe that's why he's showing.
Okay.
But he's also
How
the
funny.
crazy one, isn't he? Out of all the three guys, like he's like adventurous and goes on a boat, like. But so yeah, he
Gotcha.
here to help people. He hopes he did cause more
Yes,
happiness than pain. But it was a joke
definitely.
comes through. He just makes me feel like, what do you want me to do? Juggle over here? I'll do anything I can to make people smile. So that's the way he's coming.
Right.
Hold on one second. I just saw something black and white. So hold on one, or red and white. I don't know if someone chewed big. Is that big red cinnamon gum?
Yeah.
Does that make?
Okay. He would get mad at me for chewing gum and blowing bubbles,
Oh,
popping the bubbles. He hated that noise.
isn't that funny?
hmm
See, it doesn't make any
Wow.
sense to me, but as long as it makes sense to you, that's all that's.
hmm Oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Wow.
Woo. So, but
That,
Bill's soul feels fine. Doesn't feel like that's who you were concerned about. Is there is so we have Dad, Bill,
oh,
um, your sister. Is there another soul that you were worried about?
there is. It's yeah.
Oops, I think we cut out. Sometimes the internet cuts out. Oops. Are you back?
I am my machine. I wear the one of those glucose machines that was going off. It's my daughter. My daughter passed recently.
I'm so sorry, honey. That's why they have this whole thing for you because you're bless your heart, you care about everybody. I'm just plugging in my internet, so I'm paying
Okay.
attention. I want to make sure we get this. That's why your sister's coming through saying her soul is at peace. I kept hearing
Mm.
her repeat that. Her soul is at peace. I thought she was talking about me, like her soul. She's
Oh
talking.
wow.
So this is what happens when, and I don't want to step over any religious beliefs. So just so you know, I was brought
You're
up
fine.
Catholic, with friends who were Christian. I have a best friend who's Pentecostal. Like I just went to like any church where they were like praying basically because I wanted to be around prayer. Do you know what I mean? And I
I
still
do
love.
the same. Yes.
Okay, but there's certain parts where I think I'm more spiritual than I am religious. But I do
Me
pray.
too.
Okay, that's why I'm breathing. Okay,
Definitely.
so one of the things that they've shown me, and I've had two family members that have had near-death experiences who showed me things that nobody would know, where we were praying, what the doctors were saying when they crossed over and they were brought back. So they all
Okay.
showed thing, that loved ones on the other side come to get you, and they're all there greeting you on the other side. So there's something about that I'm supposed to bring up, that your daughter did not pass away alone, that she was surrounded by loved ones helping her cross over. Was your sister crossed over already? And
Yes.
then your daughter, because she says I helped her. I helped her as you asked me to do. Do you know what I mean? I feel like you're like, sis, if you're okay, I need your help with this. And she's
Right.
like, okay, what
Okay.
do you want me to do? Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Do you have three kids?
I I have 4 kids.
Okay. You
I
have
have
four.
3 alive kids.
Three are living now. Okay, but four
Right.
total. That's why sister's like three kids are here. One's with
Yes.
me, and I've got her. Is there a Kathy or Cat? I almost want
Oh
to say
my gosh. Yes. Cassie, Cassie.
Cassie. Okay, Cassie. So who's that to you? Because I won't know that you bring up.
She is my second born daughter.
Okay,
It's
and
my first daughter that I lost.
right, and that's her way of coming through, showing me people that are around you, and with your sister, and saying her soul is still healing. Her soul is still healing, but I got her, and she is over here, so she is fine. Do you know what I
That's
mean?
funny that she says that because I worried for the longest time. I was having a terrible dream.
Mm.
I think it took her a while to cross, if that's even a possibility.
Yeah. So the way that my mom showed me when she's the one who had her near death experience. And since my mom's crossed over, she's come to me a couple of times in my dream and, and told me things about her and the other side. My mom calls it heaven. I call it home. Some people call it the other side. But my mom almost became a nun before she became a mom. So
Oh,
so they're calling it heaven.
right.
Let her do that. Do you know? I'm not messing with my mom. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
I don't want her to come back and give me the onesie twosie. So anyway, she showed me, because she had some challenges before she passed away, some things she didn't apologize for, some ways that she felt like she could have lived better. So as she crossed over, everybody crosses over immediately. Some people, she said, receive it's like you're receiving counseling, like their soul is healing, almost like if you would see them in a
Mm,
hospital, like a triage, like they're still healing over there.
okay.
Makes me feel like your daughter has, she makes me feel like, can I ask you, did your daughter have any addictions or something?
Yes.
Okay, because as she comes through, bless her heart, bless her heart, bless her heart. She doesn't make me cry. She's just so beautiful and so naive and so pure. I feel like that's how she kind of got caught up in all this. Very pure. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do.
But it got her.
Yeah.
That's like, she was like, I had friends and I trusted them, and they would never lead me astray. And I started trusting my friends more than I did my family. And that's where I made a mistake. And this is where it's making me cry. She's saying, Mom, I said a lot of horrible things to you, and I am so sorry. I am
Yeah.
so sorry. You didn't deserve any of those. And you were right. It's because you were um, feeling the intuition of, you were afraid of the inevitable and what happened. It's almost like that's why you kept talking to her. You were so nervous for her.
I drove her nuts.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah. And rightfully so. Who wouldn't? You're her mom, but not also because you pray and you have this like extra sense of, I feel like I'm aware and I'm praying, and you're also very empathic. Then when you're a mom and you have that, then you're like, I've got to help. Like you're having a vision of it. You're like, this is more than me just telling you I
Right.
want you hanging around these people. Something bad is going to happen. And she's like, I'm going to be fine. Do you know what I mean?
I'm a grown A-word woman. Yes, I know what you mean.
Yeah. And she said some awful things to you. And as she crosses over, she realizes that the people, she trusts the wrong people. People who she
Right.
thought had her back and were there for her were not. And you were there
Right.
all along. And she's very aware of that now.
Oh, bless her heart.
Okay. So
I
her,
miss her.
I know you do. And because when she shined really bright, right? Like lit
Does
up a,
she? Yes.
So when it was
Yes.
her, it was really good, and when it got bad, it got really bad and scary.
Right. Right. You're exactly right. And
Yeah,
she passed all by herself.
that,
Well,
yes,
maybe the not physical world was there, but
right. That's
you
that
know,
biggest concern. That's why your sister was like, "I got you," because she's saying
yes.
we're so worried and still are. Like, did she suffer for a long time? Was she laying there? Like, poor thing, she must have been so scared. And your sister was like, "I got her." How would I know your sister crossed over before your?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I
I
don't.
do.
This is me channeling their love for you and your love for them. And I'm just the channel.
Right.
Once I move out of the situation, this love is still ever flowing. This love is still ever flowing to and from.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Does she, I mean, does she visit me? I feel like she does, but then I feel like I'm crazy.
Yeah, I used to feel like that too. I think that's why I started talking about my gift and how everybody was like, "This is wonderful you had this gift." I'm like, "Really?" I feel like because at one point I was like,
Right.
"This is really cool that this is happening." And I'm hoping that I'm seeing signs and hearing my loved ones. But if it's not, I'm going to need to take a little blue pill. Because remember, I'm a psychology major, so I know what it is.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that. Right,
Yeah,
right. I think I missed that part
that's okay.
because I feel like I'm having dreams at night. And the weird thing is, I wake up and I feel like her name is Sarah. I feel like we were having a conversation and I don't feel like I was asleep, but I don't know how to describe it. I just don't know how to even, I feel crazy. I went to work crying today because I'm like, nobody understands me. I don't understand myself. But she's with me in these dreams, but it's not really like a dream.
Yeah,
It's so weird. I don't know how to say it.
you're in the right place. I don't think that's crazy at all, and that's very
Okay.
cool. And of course, they would be reaching through. There's a small veil from where they are to us. We're all so connected. Do you know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Caitlin says you're not crazy. I have that with my dad like all the time,
Oh,
and
wow. Okay.
your daughter is also trying to comfort you and to let you know because this was your biggest concern. See, I wasn't going to come on today. I felt kind of funky. I thought maybe later. The person I had my reading for didn't show up. This is like
Right.
God's way of saying, like, we've got your back. I got,
Right.
and you're not alone. And this is driving you nuts. And I'm here to let you know it's all real.
Thank
It's
you.
all real. You're
I
welcome.
needed to hear that. Yeah, thank you.
You did. And I don't know if you used to call Sarah the princess or why she's got a tiara.
Her name means princess.
What?
The name Sarah means princess. Yes.
I had no clue. She's
Yes.
she's yeah, she's like, well, Mom, I've got my tiara.
Yeah.
Do you know? She's like, I'm
She
a
would,
princess.
right. She would, yeah. I mean, she had to wear a tiara on her birthday.
Hmm.
So, because she was the princess, just ask her.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Right.
She's like, you don't
Yeah.
have to. Yeah, I'm telling you. It's so funny because she would bring it. Do you know what I mean? She got feisty. Like this
Oh,
is
yes.
quiet. Like, oh, I'm going to speak up. Do you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. Yes, I do.
Yeah,
She's very feisty.
yeah. So sisters, I've never done a reading on here where someone's like their soul is at peace. It's so important that you know to have those words. Their soul is at peace. It's so important that you knew that. She's not stuck. She doesn't need help crossing over. She had her angels there. It's the family, especially your sister, was first and foremost helping her cross over and
Wow.
brought with her. She did. So that's why I call it my book I Am Home because every time I ask, "Where are you guys?" they go, "We're at home." You guys, we think this is home. This is a visit. That's home.
Right.
Everybody goes back there. So important.
Okay.
In left field, does someone have a pet bird? Or do you have a bunch of birds at your house or something?
I don't. I have bird pictures
Oh,
that I love
mm-hmm.
and she loved. So that's the only thing I can think of. And I sit outside and listen to the birds to
Mm-hmm.
the point where while I'm still grieving, but
Yeah.
the beginning of grief was in February and I started sitting outside. I know that sounds crazy, but
No.
watching the birds and how they just love each other and, you know, picking their partner. And so, yeah, that all that kind of the birds make sense.
Yeah. But for her to say, like, I thought this like obsession with birds, I was like, someone had a bird. She's like, nope, a lot of pictures about birds. Always love birds.
Yep.
And
And there's a bird that sits out there and squalls at me, and I am always convinced that it's her.
yeah, I was just gonna say. So when we have, yeah, grief is just unexpressed love. Oh, because we can never stop grieving because we can't exchange the love. Caitlin, I hope you write a book. She's
Yes.
got such eloquent way of saying things. And then Sinus says,
Oh,
"You're not crazy at all. I do the same thing. They're sending so much love to you." The
oh,
thing I
thank you guys.
You're welcome, Cheryl. The thing I love about my community on here is everybody is here to support one another, whether they're getting a reading or not, or they just in general want to send love and support and help people. So you're in a good place. And she said she has a podcast and it's on Spotify and it's called Unexpressed Love.
I
That,
will look it up.
yeah, we're all going to look that up. We're all going to look that up. So as I'm pulling back to see if there's anything else, the bird is a sign for her from her because she liked birds. Do you know what I mean? This is like
Yes.
that's why I love being around kids. They don't second guess. They're not, this is weird. No, they're like, that butterfly's Nana. Like they just, and Elena
Right.
hugs and Sherry, like you're just being
Well,
surrounded.
thank you guys.
I mean,
Thank you so
so
much. Yes. God's amazing.
yeah, you needed this break today. And I'm so glad that they came through and I was able to give it to you. I don't bring people on here regularly. Sometimes I do paid readings during the day and then I randomly at 9 or like at midnight, I'm on Pacific Coast time, I'll get antsy and I'll pull someone on here and do, but very rarely during the day. So please trust the timing of this. And as much as
Yes.
I am presenting you with the gift, this is a gift from them to you. And I'm just the UPS delivery service.
Well, thank you, UPS delivery. I am so grateful. Thank you.
So welcome. You've got this, Cheryl, and she is at peace. Like I said, hopefully this is recorded. It's not guaranteed that this app will record this, but I'm really hoping for you today that it is. And I put it over on my YouTube channel. So you can go ahead and click here and subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Okay.
And then within 24 or 48 hours when it downloads, I'll post this over there so you can rewatch it. So you're like, now I know why they were saying what they were saying.
Right.
I just keep seeing that. And I don't know if someone
It's
like
amazing.
Dr. Pepper or Cherry Coke, if that was like their thing or their favorite. Um,
Yeah. Sarah loved cherry Coke.
is that so? How would I know that? I just
Right.
now it's so funny. After this, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to go get a cherry Coke and a tuna salad because now I'm craving both of those, and those are things that I normally eat. But this sounds
Right.
right now with some Lay's potato chips or something like.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. This has been such a gift. Thank you so very much.
You're welcome, honey. I'm so glad she came through so clear, and that's all her love for you. And you're just welcome, honey. You've got this, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And thank you, everyone. I truly appreciate all the kind things you've all said.
Yeah,
Much love.
I know they're so cool. I don't know. I don't always know how to like get people off of here once I bring them on.
Here, let's see.
I think. Okay, there we go. Thank you, Cheryl.
You're welcome.
Oops. So sorry. Whoops. I don't know where that's coming from. Woo. I'm not technical, so sorry, Cheryl, if that cut you off. Thank you, everybody. We're going to have Nolan come in here too for a little bit. Thank you guys for joining today. I'm so happy. You're so welcome, Cheryl. Such a beautiful reading. Yes. And I want to thank you all thanks, Elena. Thanks, Sherry. I want to thank all of you for watching too, because one of the things that I say that when I'm doing readings, you guys are like holding space. So it creates this like energy vortex where I feel like I can read even like clearer because you guys are here. So I want to thank you guys for that. Absolutely beautiful reading. Thank you. That was awesome. Who's the person? Kayla. Yeah, the dogs are in my office right now. Hold on. I'm gonna follow you, Caitlin, because I want to look up your podcast. I think that's beautiful. The whole family showed up. I'm feeling so blessed. Yes, they did. You have a strong spiritual team, and I'm so sorry you went through that. But whenever I go through something bad, I mean, I allow myself to be mad and to grieve, but I always say something good is going to come out of this. I don't have to believe it. I don't have to know what it is. I just have to say that something good is going to come out of this because that helps me a lot. And I got that from watching the movie Soul Surfer when the girl, Bethany Hamilton, lost her arm when she was like 13 or 14. Her arm got bit off by a shark, and her mentor said, "I have to believe that something good will come out of this." And I wrote that down, and I do that for all of like my intentions to set my GPS, so that I know that the person who's passed, I'll start doing things in their name, or I'll start helping people that went through what they went through. Not anytime soon, not while you're grieving, but it will all come together, and you will start to see it in their existence of me doing the reading and them telling all those things, that those are things that I just would not know. That Sarah means princess. I did not know that, and she just kept putting in her little tiara on her head, and that she liked cherry coke. You know what I mean? These are like specific things that nobody would know. So I'm so glad she came in so clear for you. Thank you all for watching. If you do want a reading, please keep in mind, I don't know where that went. I don't know how to click on this. There it goes. There we go. My website is peace-serenity.com. I do phone readings and Zoom readings. We're doing text readings, but I'm also on here doing readings. I think I'm going to take tomorrow off, but I'll probably be coming on Saturday, possibly Monday and Tuesday around 3:30 Pacific Coast time to do readings on here. So if you guys are interested, please let me know. In the meantime, take care of yourself, and please know that your loved ones are always around you. They're always around you, and that a medium can channel their love for you and your love for them. But once we're removed from the situation or the equation, that love is ever flowing from them to you, and you to them, and them to you. So always look for signs. Okay. Oh, wow. Love that princess came through. Yes, you just needed to hear that. Thank you, Sherry. Have a beautiful day, everybody. I'm going to go walk my dogs. Take care. I have so much love for you guys and appreciation. Thank you guys for all being here. I'll see you around 3:30 Pacific Coast time on Sunday or Monday. Take care, everybody. Bye now.